coming up with names for your characters can cause some major anxiety. But I have 4 easy, fun, and creative ways so you can get to the writing faster. Hi, I'm Jennifer Gregson, a tarot book coach who helps writers get past blocks so they can start enjoying the writing process and actually finish their novels using the magical tool of tarot. So anyone can grab the baby name book off the bookshelf or use any of the apps that are out there. But I think there are a little bit more fun and creative ways to come up with character names. One, I would start with the period and the country that your book is set. So if you're writing from the United States in the 1980s, you're going to come up with some very different names than if you're writing about Japan in the 1800s. So think about that when you start using those baby name books and apps. That's the first tip. The second tip is to think about the theme of your book. So let's say you're writing a YA romance novel with the theme of love conquers all. Start thinking about that theme and the word love. Use that to search for names in those apps and those books. And then start brainstorming other words that make you think of romance or love, right? So hearts, chocolate, roses. This is really good information to use, especially for last names, right? So what are some chocolate brands? Start using that for last names. Speaking of last names, and this is one of my most fun tips, is to use movies. We all love watching movies, right? So when you're watching, watch all the way to the end and use the credits to steal actual last names. This works really well if you're writing a book set in another country and maybe you're not familiar with all the names of that country. So let's say you're writing a book set in Norway or a book set in China, right? Watch movies from that country and then borrow some last names from the credits and then look them up to make sure the names don't mean anything that's weird or that you don't want in your book. But this works great. So if you're having a Marvel movie marathon, just watch all the way to the end, right? There's end credits that you're going to watch. Those end scenes are fun. You don't want to miss those. So just watch the credits, grab a notebook and start writing down some names. And this is my favorite and most fun tip. Use tarot cards. So I actually have a deck. I'm going to show you how I do this. So I'm going to shuffle. I'm actually doing this live. Okay, so I pulled the 7 of Wands. What I would do is I would choose one thing about this card. So for me, I'm going to choose this little river lake thing. Let me turn it around. Yeah, I'm going to call it a river. So I would think of things that would remind me of river. I would just use that little detail. So I would maybe look up words that mean river. River to me always reminds me of Doctor Who. So maybe there are other names associated with Doctor Who that I could use. Maybe there's a song, a book, another book, right? The Bridge Over the River Kwai kind of comes to my mind. So you could just start with things in pop culture that immediately come to you. And then you could look up who sings the song, who wrote the book, who played River, right? Who played the character in the TV show that you immediately thought of. And I would start using that for names. So let's do one more because that card didn't have a ton on it. Ooh, Justice. Okay, so this is the Justice card. So maybe I would pick up the thing, right? This right here reminds me of Libra, maybe because I am a Libra, but I would start maybe looking up other famous Libras. So I know Sting is a Libra because we share a birthday. I'm pretty sure Will Smith is a Libra. Don't quote me on that. But I would look up other Libras and I would start picking names from that. You could also just play off the word justice, right? Who's your favorite TV lawyer? Who's your favorite lawyer in books or movies? I would maybe go with that. Or I would just look up the word justice and see what names have that meaning. And that is how I come up with character names. Which one of those was your favorite and which one are you going to implement? And if you loved this, then I think you would especially like my free training, Novel Narrator, How to Name Your Book's Characters in 30 Minutes Using Tarot. You can find the link below. And I would love it if you would like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I share videos for writers every other week. I hope you have a lovely day.